Can-Am is determined to be the first name in side-by-sides. After launching the first 72-inch wide sport UTV with their Maverick X3, the company is currently offering 2 and 4 seat versions, along with a number of 64-inch wide models. While the competition was left scrambling for the past couple years to bring their first 72-inch wide car to market, Can-Am was busy filling in a niche that was missing from their lineup, the 50-inch trail sports segment. Looking to surpass their competition, with a 50-inch limit in width, Can-Am decided to go big in other ways. The result was the Maverick Trail 800 and 1000. Styled after the Maverick X3, the Maverick Trail is available in standard and DPS models. The DPS models feature a ton of added features, including Can-Am's dynamic power steering, faster engaging Visco-Lok QE auto-locking front differential, an unlockable rear differential, selectable sport and eco engine modes, cast aluminum wheels, color-matched suspension springs, and LED running lights. Maverick Trail 800s come with door nets, while the 1000s feature half doors. We got our hands on a top-of-the-line Maverick Trail DPS 1000 that was broken in at Can-Am's press intro, giving us a better idea of how the car will hold up after some rough use. Test rider Rob Freedy is a critic of the 50-inch segment, having found limited ground clearance and cramped interior space to be issues in the past. We decided to see if the new Maverick Trail DPS could win him over on some tight trails originally cut for sport ATVs. The 800 and 1000 produce 51 and 75 horsepower respectively. The Maverick Trail 1000 is powered by a rear-mounted, water-cooled 976cc V-twin Rotax engine, featuring 4 valves and double overhead cams per cylinder. Fuel is delivered by electronic fuel injection, allowing for the use of Can-Am's intelligent throttle control system. The fly-by-wire system is designed to help filter out unwanted gas pedal inputs in rough terrain, said to utilize the same transmission used on the heavier and more powerful Maverick X3. Transmission durability shouldn't be an issue. The automatic CVT-style transmission features Can-Am's quick response system, with high and low forward ranges, neutral, reverse, and park. The DPS model features 4 selectable drive modes, including 2 and 4-wheel drive, with and without the rear differential lock engaged, to prevent damaging groomed turf surfaces. Fuel injection allows the engine to start and warm up quickly. The engine produces a powerful sounding yet well-muffled roar and emits very little vibration. We spent a short time flipping between the engine's sport and eco modes. Although we didn't measure the fuel savings that eco mode provides, we can attest that it does mellow out the power a bit for your less experienced friends, or times when some extra manageability is desired. Power is strong throughout the RPM range. It starts building right off idle, pulling hard in the mid-range with a respectable top end for its displacement. Strong low-end power rarely leaves you feeling as though you need to shift into low range, although we did on slower climbs with 2 occupants just to protect the belt. With 500 pounds worth of occupants on board, we were able to get the car up over 65 miles per hour over the course of a few hundred-yard drag race, and the engine was still accelerating. The engine's 75 horsepower is well matched with the chassis, and more power could be excessive. We doubt that it would hang with a Maverick X3 in a drag race, but it is very competitive with a notably lighter Racer 900. Can-Am's quick response transmission lives up to its name. Power was always on tap entering and exiting corners, or on hills when you need to get out then back in the throttle. The engine and transmission lend themselves to aggressive, sporty driving, although the smooth, predictable power delivery makes the Maverick Trail perfect for casual exploring or destination drives. Can-Am's intelligent throttle control system did well at filtering out unwanted gas pedal inputs caused by traversing bumps, especially at slower speeds. We're not sure how it would work on a long travel car where setting up for jumps or whoops require precise throttle inputs, but for the trail, intelligent throttle control works pretty well. In 4-wheel drive, Can-Am's Visco-Lok front differential provides the easy steering of limited slip. However, when one of the wheels begins to lose traction, the Visco-Lok system progressively locks in both front wheels, providing true four-wheel drive. When traction is restored, the system progressively unlocks. With a faster engaging Visco-Lok QE front differential system equipped on our DPS model, we have no complaints when it comes to four-wheel drive performance. If you typically challenge steep or deep technical terrain, you'll prefer the faster locking front differential on the DPS model. We find engine braking to be a welcomed feature on a trail car. In high range, the Can-Am's engine braking system feels natural, scrubbing off speed. In low range, its electronic hill descent control will have you crawling at a snail's pace on steep descents. The Maverick Trail is built on a brand new chassis that's constructed of DP980 and high-strength low-alloy steel. Used as the base for the new 60-inch wide Maverick Sport, the chassis should be overbuilt for the 50-inch wide trail. The chassis is protected by an integrated removable front bumper, and the underside is covered end-to-end by injection-molded plastic skid plates. Dual-arm suspension front and Can-Am's TTA dual-arm suspension out back deliver 10 inches of travel up front and 10.5 inches rear. Suspension action is controlled by preload adjustable twin-tube gas-charged shocks and sway bars at both ends. The Maverick Trail rolls on 26/812 front and 26/912 rear Carlisle ACT tires. Measuring in a class standard width of 50 inches, the Maverick Trail has a much longer wheelbase than its competitors at 90.6 inches. That's nearly 7 inches longer than the Textron Wildcat Trail and nearly a foot longer than the Razor 900. The Maverick Trail suspension travel, 69-inch height, and 10 inches of ground clearance are all pretty much in line with the other vehicles in its class. Its claimed dry weight of 1,364 pounds is 188 pounds heavier than the claimed dry weight of the Razor 900 EPS. The Maverick delivered a ride that exceeded our expectations. It was hard to find fault with the suspension. It smoothed out everything we threw at it, from small roots and rocks to getting a little air. Flying through the fields at over 50 miles per hour, we were impressed with the shock's ability to eat up small rolling bumps and potentially harsh high-speed impacts from small water ruts. Bump compliance at lower speeds was equally impressive. The rear end seemed a bit firmer, although the ride didn't feel overly imbalanced. We believe that Can-Am went with a slightly firmer rear suspension setting to help keep the back end from squatting excessively under acceleration or on steep climbs, maintaining ground clearance. You can soften the rear and firm up the front shock's preload settings if you like. However, we were able to clear some surprisingly large obstacles in the trail. Also, when landing from a water brake jump in mild ruts, the back end of the chassis would frame out before the shocks would bottom, common on all 50-inch UTVs we've driven. We think Can-Am's firmer rear suspension settings work well with the limited ground clearance of the class. The Maverick's long wheelbase really adds to its smooth riding characteristics. It places you in the middle of the car, further away from the wheels, and further away from the bumps. Its longer wheelbase and suspension combined providing a high level of high-speed stability on fast, somewhat smooth trails. The long wheelbase is also a welcomed asset on most steep climbs and descents, only becoming a concern when tackling a hill or creek bank with an abrupt transition at the top, where the car's longer wheelbase makes it a bit more susceptible to framing out. The tires protrude at both ends of the car, so abrupt transitions at the bottom of hills aren't an issue. Body roll is well managed, allowing you to corner and negotiate off-camber trail sections with confidence, although you quickly learn that any 50-inch side-by-side handles far better with two occupants on board. Steering accuracy is good in either two- or four-wheel drive, so we left the car in two-wheel drive most of the time. We found that we could get through turns a little faster with the back end broke loose and stepped out a few degrees. Ample power allows you to break the back tires loose, and the longer wheelbase smooths out the point at which the back end brakes and regains traction and slides, making steering with the throttle a little more predictable. Can-Am's power steering is well balanced on the Maverick. Steering effort is light, while leaving you feeling connected to the trail. We appreciated it in tight conditions, where the car's slightly wider turning radius had us working the limits of the steering from time to time. Carlisle's ACT tires provided good directional control, but were easy to break traction with under acceleration and two-wheel drive. This aided in getting the car loose in turns, with four-wheel drive providing extra traction when needed. Braking force is provided by dual hydraulic disc brakes at both ends, featuring 220mm rotors and dual piston calipers all around. The brakes offered excellent power and feel, and the front end doesn't dive excessively under hard braking. On the interior, the driver's seat can be slid fore and aft, and the tilt steering offers 25 degrees of adjustment. The backlit LED instrument display is mounted on the steering column. It's not flashy looking, but it's functional. The passenger seat and grab handle are not adjustable, but are well positioned for most adults. The stock 3.8-inch seatbelts are comfortable, and the seats and roll cage are 4-point harness ready. Overall, the interior of the Maverick Trail is pretty refined and surprisingly spacious for a 50-inch wide machine. Stepping into the car, there's plenty of legroom for Big Rob at 6'2". We found considerably more shoulder room for two NFL-sized riders than we remember on 50-inch Razors in the past. Although the doors are nice, they do impede the driver's left arm movement a bit, especially larger drivers. The seats remain pretty comfortable without any annoying pressure points, even after almost 7 hours of non-stop driving. We really like the shape and feel of the steering wheel. Both it and the steering column feel solid. All of the switches and the gated shifter feel high quality, although the door handles feel a bit flimsy. The sightline out of the front of the car isn't bad. However, drivers of all sizes found viewing out of the back of the car difficult. Shorter drivers will find a rear view mirror almost mandatory. There's a class-leading 5.3 gallons of dry storage available inside the cockpit, with the driver and passenger side storage boxes. There's a small tray below the DC outlet in the center dash, and cup holders are located on the floorboards. Unique LED running lights make you more visible during the day, and for night driving, there are dual 55-watt headlights and LED taillights. The bed of the Maverick can carry 300 pounds. It has 8 link quick attach points for Can-Am accessories, 4 anchor hooks, and 4 drain holes for easier cleaning. The car's 2-inch hitch receiver can tow 1,500 pounds. With over 125 factory accessories already available, Can-Am can outfit the Maverick Trail for any season or any trail environment. Our machine was outfitted with their accessory link rack extension, half windshield, and sport roof. In conclusion, Can-Am has raised the bar in the 50-inch trail sport class. The Maverick sacrifices a little turning radius and ground clearance cresting hills for a car with more predictable climbing, high-speed stability, and a smoother ride. Where the Maverick really shines is in its level of refinement. From its well-thought-out spacious cockpit to its trail-tuned suspension, every aspect of the car performs well individually and as a total package. We all came away with a little more respect and appreciation for how much fun you can have in a 50-inch car after spending a few weeks testing the Maverick Trail. Of course, the Maverick Trail is sure to be a hit with tight trail sportsters, but with its level of accessory integration, ability to navigate in the tight stuff, and camo models available, we wouldn't be at all surprised to see them being used for hunting out in the deep woods. Starting at $10,999, the base model 800 could offer the best performance for the dollar in the 50-inch trail sport class, and is sure to attract a number of enthusiasts looking for a quality name brand unit at a more affordable price. Looking at the total package, with the top of the line Maverick Trail DPS 1000 retailing for $14,799, the newest kit on the block could certainly be the toughest one to beat in the 50-inch trail sport class. For more information on the Can-Am Maverick Trail or their full line of side-by-sides and ATVs, log on to canamoffroad.com. For more side-by-side related content, check out some of UTV On Demand's other videos, and make sure you receive our newest videos as soon as they're released by subscribing to UTV On Demand.